first two items I learned how to make, the first drink and the first actual dish I learned how to cook on my own. Me and my brother, we would cook this dish all the time just because our parents would often be working or they would leave to go to like some sort of function or something like that. The first two times we made this, we absolutely failed and we couldn't even eat it. The third time, we really fucked up. We essentially started an oil fire in our house and we almost burned the house down. And we got really lucky because my brother was really smart and he put a bunch of flour on the pot to stop the fire from going. But this dish is really close to my heart for that reason. So today we're going to make vagareeli roti and chai. It's a traditional Gujarati dish. Basically, you're taking leftover roti that you made from yesterday and you're just going to add some spices to it, cook it in some oil as well. The chai is basically traditional black tea with some milk in there and possibly some cinnamon or some spices added in just for extra flavor. Back in the older days when there was no such thing as electricity or fridges, and everyone in India, at least in the area of Gujarat, in the villages, were living in very simple homes, food would spoil very quickly. So whenever the villagers would make roti, they'd make enough for them to eat, but whenever there was leftovers, they didn't know what to do with it, and they didn't want to keep throwing it out or feeding it to other animals. It was from there that they figured out, okay, why don't we just spice this up like we spice up our vegetables? And that's sort of where the dish was born, and it was turned into more of like a breakfast food. So I got into cooking looking at my parents cook, specifically my dad. My dad grew up cooking because he lost his father at a very young age, and he was forced to actually learn how to cook and do other household chores very early on. So looking at my dad cook and make all these extravagant dishes, I really wanted to learn myself and also just taste and make those own dishes on my own. But when you're cooking for someone else, it's a whole different ballgame because there's a lot more to it and you're a lot more nervous and pressured because you want them to enjoy the food. So the first time I made this was for a friend of mine because she came over, we were both studying super late, and we were both hungry as hell, so I was like, crap, what do we eat? There's nothing left except some old roti. So I look at that and I was like, perfect. This is a chance to flex my cooking skills, get on a good side. But making it, I remember I was like, crap, don't mess up. And even though I was still really nervous and worried, I was also having a lot of fun. And that's also part of what made me even more into cooking because I enjoy cooking for other people. Once the dish was ready, once I made the tea and everything, I sat down, I didn't even eat the dish before watching her eat it just because I wanted to see her reaction. And I remember so clearly when she first put that spoonful in her mouth, she was like, oh, this is probably gonna be normal. Her eyes just get wide open as if she got punched by the flavor. And it was the best feeling in the world, just watching this person sit there and be shocked by the food that you just made for them and actually enjoy it. It was to the point where she even stole my share. Cooking, or rather more, any shared experience is something that you can have with anyone, but more importantly, it teaches you and it shows you which person or which group of people you want to share those experiences with. And it really makes you realize that it's when you're spending time with these people that you're honestly truly alive and you appreciate life and everything it has to offer.